Hey everybody, welcome to this latest session of That D&D podcast. Tonight we're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, and I'll pass it over to Mike from here.
Hi everybody, Mike Jackson Brard here, or GM Mike if you like. Tonight we're playing Knights of the Ashen Empire, another episode of our 5th Edition campaign. If you are going by our broadcast schedule, this is the third time we have done this, except the time that we also made characters. So I'm confused too. This is the third time we're doing this. Who wants to recap last session, which happened roughly 1 million years ago?
I was just going to say that the character gen session is clearly session 0. So whether or not this is the third session depends heavily on what kind of basing you use for your arrays.
Yes, this is session 3, our 4th broadcast.
Yeah. Last session, we went to a village, saved some people, murdered some other people, and a very annoying gnome? Halfling?
Yes, gnome.
Very annoying gnome somehow survived. Also, Yorha butchered like 90 zombie things.
I actually missed the end of the fight because my dog was trying to get hypothermia.
Yes.
So
I was wrong. It was a halfling. Fritz is the gnome.
I know Fritz is a gnome. I didn't recall what my nemesis is.
Yeah.
awful lot of villagers though.
Normally I hate gnomes, so I'm going to give gnomes a positive shake.
Good old fantasy racism.
Yep. Ich bin ein Gnome.
Woof.
No, it's not the racism. That's from Majesty, the Fantasy Kingdom Simulator. That's exactly what happened. 100%. There were some slight details, as in the villagers appear to be somewhat consumed and or controlled by the rot, which is a big deal because the whole purpose of the Knights of the Ashen Empire is to find the rot, purge it, and destroy all sorts of that shit. This halfling seemed to have been imbued with it, suffused with it. It controlled him, it bound him from within, but it also obeyed his commands. So it's some bad negative juju going on there. Y'all brought the fire, you tried to burn the thing down, and it fled, leaping into a portal to God's nowhere. Or maybe not, because the gods don't exist anymore.
I think the medical condition that the halfling had is he was down with the sickness.
He was, absolutely. And he got up to get down
because
with
of the constant ooh-ah-ah-ah.
Mm-hmm. All of my bad guys have that refrain in the background. The boss fight music is brought to you by Disturbed.
It makes a lot of sense looking back now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, so the car pulls up in Swamp Wizards as the ooh-ah goes off, and then we just fight Walt Disney.
But the first it had to go. We had to pull up the car, pull up, and it goes ooh ah ah, ah. And then Goofy.
Yeah.
The parking lot. And goes,
Yeah. God. Yep.
We get our asses kicked by him.
Drowning here in my sea of lonely.
Okay.
Excellent left turn. Thank you. I believe that you walk out of the burning inn. So the map, everyone. I'm working on a map. It's not done yet. Fire and brimstone is raining from the sky, causing problems in my neck of the woods. It's actually just ice. So we'll flip back to something that's less work in progressy. So here we have the village of town. You guys went down inside of the local inn tavern thing, filled with the rotting remains of the year's harvest, and now the entire thing burns. And the villagers, which ones of them there are left, are unconscious, laying around. Oh my god, a giant bird. Roll for initiative, there's a kaiju.
I don't know how to recite.
I'm pretty
I
sure
rage.
that's what they thought before she killed them.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I was saying.
I don't know how to
Go ahead,
recite.
Dorothy.
I don't.
Oh, I was.
If you
I
want
was
to make that your token, Erin, that's something Mike has to do.
Yeah.
I
I was saying
want
that's
that to be a
probably
token.
what Kate's victims thought before she killed them last session. Oh my god, a giant bird.
But giant is extremely relative, right?
Well,
because
see,
Kate
the thing
is
is,
Small.
I don't-
half
I don't
person
know if-
size bird.
I don't know if any of the people that she killed saw her.
As they lay there dying. I don't know.
My God, it's full of cause.
So, yeah, the tavern's burning, and a familiar face kind of walks down the hill, these hills over here, to the northeast. After having poked his head out, and making sure that the things were relatively all clear. In his incredibly fancy hat, Burks has returned.
Oh, we paid him off at the end of the last session, didn't we? And they did like the whole Yub Nub ceremony for us.
They sang songs about us.
Does sound familiar.
And I can only assume that the experience of having a goblin like cheer your victory is what pushed us over the edge to hit level 2.
Yes. So Burks has returned, and he's watching the inn burn. He kind of looks around and he says, "So was the village for sale?"
The village for sale? No, there are survivors. They have claim to this place. They might need your assistance.
So I was going to compliment you on your remarkably thorough jobs that you have been doing, but it appears that just halfway. I guess that's still pretty good.
They're no longer sick with the rot.
Are you sure? These people don't look super good.
Didn't I do a thing, or didn't all the rot stop
Yeah.
doing stuff to them after we burned the, like...
They're probably still super emaciated and dirty and shitty looking.
Well,
Real
yeah.
bad. Just not like we should cleanse them with fire bad anymore.
Yeah, they're not under control of the infection.
Oh, but they are infected.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought specifically we were asking how long we could stay here, so that's to
Right.
barely do that.
Okay. Let's fast forward a week and a half.
Okay.
So, while Sinrathi is systematically purging every remaining villager of infection, perhaps the remaining villager of infection,
That wouldn't take nearly as long.
yeah.
I mean, at that point, we could just liquidate it and sell it to the goblin, right?
The villager?
Just no survivors.
No witnesses.
Yeah.
So there had been like 80 people that lived here previously, and including the dozen or so that were killed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we might as well cut it down to like 10. There's probably like, I don't know, 70 people left in this village, and 1, 2, 3, 4 representative, and like maybe 20 or so that needs, in some way, shape, or form, that is infected and needs curing. Not
Okay.
all of them.
I would like to point out that I then slaughtered a small percentage. I was actually worried that I'd like taken out a half to 2/3 of the poor villagers.
I think you actually literally decimated this village.
Actually, yeah.
There was one point where you speared 3 people at once.
But in a village of 80 people, that's rounding error.
I really hope Yorha's argument
Well, that's
is
5%. That is a 1
Yeah,
out of
but if you
D20.
round to the nearest 10, it's still.
I really hope Yorha's argument is people can always be made more, and the last time I checked it was pretty fun.
So the village has the very real possibility of not having enough people to continue.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Some significant portion of these people are going to be elderly or children. And
Wouldn't they
yeah,
have gone first?
I don't
Fallen to disease.
know that the rot discriminates.
Here it has seemed to. The people that the rot has infected were hale, hardy, and lived at the center of town.
Okay.
That pattern, and one that we should investigate lest it happen again.
I'll leave
Yeah.
that to people who aren't rolling spell checks for the next week and a half.
I mean, I would definitely investigate, and I feel like Yorha's probably got some experience tracking down and rooting out the rots.
So in the past, when you've done this, the rot tends to spread less like you don't know. Your HUD doesn't know the word vector, right?
Yes.
But Yorha understands that the rot spreads mainly through touch or ingestion, right? And sometimes, if you're super lucky, via aerosol, but you got to be like real close. It's not like pollen that spreads on the breeze, right? If a rot infected being explodes in front of you, you could get infected. But you're more likely to have it infect you by touch or by eating something that's tainted in rot.
Okay. The fact that they all looked well fed and had the rot is probably a tip off here.
I also think that the well-fed is a relative term here. But yes.
So we have 2 other people that are able to turn rot. Does that help with the, I guess, time spent? Like,
So, I mean, let's talk about that. That's a new thing. And that is literally something that has happened recently.
Mhm.
yeah.
And that is a sort of interesting character arc beat thing. Sinrathi. Who are the 2 people that now have the ability to cast magic?
Keith does.
I believe it's Keith and Fritz, right?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Because it's
no.
not the fighter or the
Oh.
barbarian.
I thought you got it at level 2, my bad.
3.
Oh. Okay, 1 other person.
So, Keith, what spells do you have prepared?
I have Hail of Thorns, Hunter's Mark, and Turn Rot, I guess. Well, I can only have. It says I know
Turn rot is like you spend the spell slot.
Mhm.
So 3.5 terms. It's what's
like
the
a rope.
Divine casting.
it's there was a term for it in 3.5 that it's like spontaneous conversion, I think.
I think that sounds right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Hail of Thorns, Hunter's Mark, and Turn Rot are my spells.
So, Oath of Vengeance. Ranger, here you go. So, I believe you cast Divine, right? This is like brought upon you. It's not something that you studied.
I'm not sure. Hold on, let me bring up my chapter in the book. It didn't specific. By the time you
learn
reach
to
second
use the
later,
magical essence of nature to cast spells, much as a druid does.
so it's more like, I guess, natural crap, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you have
Forces
the
of nature seek to cleanse
You-
the unclean.
you have access to the major spell list that I don't have access to.
That's why you kept me around, for synergy and because I couldn't fly anymore.
Well, that's why you stayed, because you couldn't get away.
That's fair.
So if you run, I will kill you.
Okay.
Right. Better now, and you know he's dead, than to be spreading the rot unknowingly. So let's talk about you. How do you learn that? Is this like a trait of your species? Is this the thing that you guys know how to do because you've studied it for a long time? The druid rangerism thing is not particularly well defined in the setting.
Mhm.
So let's flesh that out a little bit.
I kind of think that maybe with the Avix, maybe like the physical characteristics you're born with sort of determine, what you'd be good at. So I've got a bunch of eyes, which isn't common for everybody, which means I'm good at seeing stuff. But I think I don't know, maybe something about having the rot removed from me kind of opened me up to some sort of magic stuff. Excuse me.
Okay, that's cool. So
I kind of want to dig into something there. Does that mean Avix have like more than a binary for genders?
Probably.
That's
Is
interesting.
is it just like a bunch of different phenotypes in different combinations, and that's what determines the kind of Avix?
Yeah, I think it's almost like different breeds, and they just whatever one that you're attracted to, that's the one you end up with. And I think if they were to separate each other, it would be more by like those characteristics, like, oh, you're a sighted one, or you're a giant,
You're a
or-
beef wing.
yeah, stuff like that. You're made
So,
of somehow leaves.
So the breeds of Avix
Mhm.
are selected not by like bloodline or whatever. It's more by external trait.
Yeah, and like I think you can, depending on which set of however many parents it is that get together to make a brood of Avix, that maybe it will slightly tilt the scale, but it's still kind of a random draw for what your kid's going to come out as.
Gotcha.
We reproduce via spores. No.
You're not orcs.
We bud.
So, but the phrase you use that's really cool here is having the rot removed opened me up to magic stuff, and I'm keying on that because that makes it sound like something that happened. This is not wasn't necessarily expected. Like, it wasn't an expected part of your training. It is a thing that you now know how because of your unique background.
Yeah, like I think the way it works would be like, say, for the ones who are more capable of being druids or something, how they can mimic other animals and that sort of stuff. I think when the rot changed me, it sort of like unlocked a little bit of something in my genetics, and then getting the rot out of me kind of gives me control over myself, so I can, I guess, further explore that.
Okay, Yura, we need you to eat all of this rot for science so you learn magic.
Okay, so within the Avix, there is the potential for nature magic, and
Yes.
Although Kaith was not born with that, those external traits, their genetics may have been modified by this process of having the rot removed or gaining the rot or something, and its absence has allowed Kaith to access physical Avix traits or Avix abilities that they did not previously have the ability to do.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
We
Neat.
knocked down a wall. We found out there was an empty shop back there, and after the contractors left, now I can figure out what to do with the shop.
It's very darkest dungeon for some reason. So, is this a thing that you begin practicing spontaneously after making the Rot King play, or?
I think when she's, when there's some downtime, she kind of goes off a little ways away from town and like works on stuff. Not anywhere where it would like, I guess, arouse suspicion. And she probably pays the goblins to keep quiet.
I've really liked the idea that like you're out hunting for food or something one day, and you're like, oh, there's a rabbit over there, and the person's with you is like, I don't see it, and you point it out, and that's what like casts Hunter's Mark on them for the first time.
It glows, and you're like, ooh, I very see this rabbit now. What happened?
Yeah,
A game thing where like even though it's in some foliage, it glows.
yeah.
Like,
Well, it's totally the like Unity
Yeah, it's the
red outline.
outline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking asset flips, right? All right. So, and you're keeping this intentionally keeping this a secret from other people.
Yeah, I figure with the way that the rot changes people, and the fact that everybody who I roll with knows I had the rot, I figured this might be misinterpreted as a reason to kill me. So I'm going to not tell people until it can be proven to be beneficial to them.
Keeping secrets from your party always works out well.
Whew.
So,
Yorha likes secrets.
so for characters,
It has
so
a giant axe.
Kate's gonna have no reason to think that she can cure the rot at this point. Then,
Yeah.
because there's nothing to connect the dots yet. But
Yeah.
player knowledge, if that's a thing that you want to learn at some point, it's a thing that you can. But for now, Sinrathi is bearing the brunt of chewing the rot out of these people mechanically, not literally. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
gross.
As is proper.
Well, maybe during the day she tries to help Senrathi since, she knows how much it sucks to have the rot and wants to get it out of people. And then maybe at some point she learns to, mimic the hand motions or the words or something, and then like a shitty version of his spell happens.
Awesome. So, in this process, and this would be like a good thing to roleplay. I'm not really sure how to make that happen though, because basically what my mental idea is that Sinrathi has to teach Keith the lore, right? The literature. They have to understand the text before they can do the thing.
Do I maybe do like the accidental beginning of it, and he sees it, and then he like pulls me aside, and he's like, "We need to train you. This is a thing."
He gives you a helmet with a visor that goes down, and
Yeah.
the orb pops up, and there's light.
The last time I went down, I can't see the rot infected people.
Reach out.
Hey, vey. Yeah. Magic is all around us. It surrounds us and connects us all.
I already implied the rot was the force earlier.
I'm one with the rot. The rot is with me.
Yes.
Boy.
May the rot be with you.
And also with you.
Hey, Senrathi.
Reach yourself out to the rot.
I did a thing on.
What?
I don't know.
What?
A
What?
thing happened.
What? Define the thing. Let's see the thing. Where is it? And I'm probably like lifting up your arm and like looking at like possible infection points because I'm like, oh shit, she probably has it again.
No. You may have noticed I have a bunch of eyes, and I pay a lot of attention to things. Watch. And then she does like a hand motion, maybe somewhat similar to the one Senrathi does at a certain part.
Yeah,
And like maybe you can feel a little bit of magic happening.
I can feel the magic.
She's like, I felt a thing. I don't know. It's a thing.
I mean,
that
I don't think magic is subtle. So I think I'm that okay. You're with me for the rest of the bit, and I mean, okay. I still don't know how I do this, so follow along.
Okay. I could still do my own training at night, right?
Yeah.
I gotta keep sharp. Okay, good. Gotta get food. Huh, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but I mean, there's lives to save. Yorha can murder beasts. Like this is. It's good to fill stomachs. It's better to fill bunks.
Giggity.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just, trying to be useful.
Oh, this is useful. This is possibly better than useful. This is possibly hopeful. This is.
I didn't want to steal your thing. Sorry.
I mean, I'm not here for me.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Maybe this is Sinrathi spreading her thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like if I joked in chat that like maybe I'm at the top of a multi-level marketing for magic thing, and like I cure 2 people and those people go on and they cure 2 people. I'm okay with that.
This does feel very like the first chapter of like Mass Effect or something like that.
A little bit. Yeah. I mean, got sent to an outlying settlement that seemed like not a big deal, and then you get there and there's totally a person who's going to be a recurring villain that you beat, and they somehow escape, and then they come back more powerful later. And I should probably stop describing the meta plot of this game.
One of you has weird, ill-defined powers that are unknown within the sphere of the game world, and you belong to an organization that has basically carte blanche to do whatever it feels like.
And is wearing an N7 hoodie.
There's also one in the background of the shot. No, of my shot.
Are we in Hydra again?
Okay, so the thing that the tricky bit is the belief portion of this process, and you can show Keith over and over again the rote process that you do, and whether or not you understand that the belief is an important aspect of it. That is a thing that Keith will have to wind up embracing as well.
I don't know that Senrathi does, because I don't know that Senrathi thinks other people don't have the same like faith and hope that he does. I mean, that's just the number of eyes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, I'm probably also like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to like this is going to do so much for so many people. Like, think of all the people we can help now, and just being fairly bubbly and positive and like, yeah,
Hopeful.
yeah.
Annoyingly hopeful.
I didn't want to say the word because I mean, anyways, yeah.
Because then I said the word.
Got my spaces.
So we're going to let's talk about what Vashla's doing in the meantime. You unless you have something in mind, Brix has decided that you're the next person on their agenda. Brix. So,
Well,
beautiful lady.
Yes.
I was just wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about your heritage, one might say.
My family used to live in not this region specifically, but nearby Tig.
Oh, really? And a Tig is like a city than the undergrounds, yes?
Something like that.
So you've been there before, and
I have
might be
not.
interested in something, but you've been into underground Tigs before.
Yes.
So you might be interested in something like this. And he pulls out from his bag this complex bit of dwarven machinery that is effectively a key for like a gate.
Where did you get that?
Well, so in this region of the world, here in the south, in our horrible rot-strewn, stricken lives where we live eating dirt all the time, information is at such a premium that perhaps we can exchange. You show me how it works, and I can tell you where I found it.
What would you want in exchange specifically for that? Just
Well, if I can see how it works, then I can use it. And that is clearly of some great value to me and my people.
to what end, though?
Well, doors are usually opened with keys. And I would hope to be opening a door or two with this.
I mean, I can't necessarily willingly help you loot my people's homes.
It's not looting. It's more of a told him not to call it multi-level marketing scheme. It is a redistribution of wealth. You see, the upper classes of dwarves are sharing with the lower classes of goblins.
I'm really not the right person to approach for this.
Well, I mean, the other option is that we just go on living in your cupboards and drawers. It's not important. But
I
if
mean-
you are interested in things of this nature again, I am more than happy to talk to you about them.
I think at that point, Basha's gonna grumpily just kind of walk away because for like if we continued that conversation, I'm not sure Bert would be able to walk away with his fancy hat intact. I did have a thing in mind. I actually wanted to approach Fritz in regards to having a gun for herself, because I'm still bitter that the halfling got away. And maybe if I had a gun, like actual ranged weapon, I would have been able to shoot him before he got through the portal.
Yeah, I think we can work something up.
I was thinking, so instead of like having taught Fritz how to smith, I thought maybe it would make more sense if I taught you how to make your own building materials. As Fritz kind of struck me as someone who would get impatient with the quartermaster a lot, waiting for stuff to be smelted. So like I taught you how to make your own bars and stuff, so you could just
Oh, okay.
go down and get the ore instead of waiting
So,
around
like,
for someone to get
refinery
to you.
kind of
Yeah.
refining metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead,
That's cool.
because I think you're, in terms of smithing, he is like leagues beyond me. And I thought it didn't really make too much sense to like, oh yeah, I totally taught him everything he knows. But like more self-sufficient or like independent.
Sure.
I think I think that's probably what made me respect you, that you were someone who was willing to get down and dirty to get to the crafting that you wanted to. But yeah, just probably asking for basic pointers in terms of gun shooting, gun maintenance, because my dexterity is 10.
That's
Could
probably
be worse.
Yeah, that's no penalty.
It's not great either.
Point this end at the person you want to shoot.
Uh-huh.
Don't put it at yourself.
Okay.
This in toward enemy. I like the idea that she's just giving her like a Magitech claymore with a handle.
I mean, that's what Fritz's guns tend towards, right?
Yeah. Mike, you said there was like some standard pistol that we got, right?
Yeah.
For being in the
So-
Ashwinds.
Well, so there are different kinds of pistols that exist in this game world. Flintlocks and matchlocks are of poor quality, are not ubiquitous, but not uncommon. High quality repeating sort of weapons that don't take a full round to reload are almost impossible to come by unless you're effectively blessed by the ruling class.
Yeah.
But so you can get, is it the DMG page something or other? Dink, dink. I have it in my campaign notes. It's right over here for world building. This link, 5E Renaissance Explosives and Firearms. So you have access to a pistol and a musket without any like real restriction.
Okay.
But if you want to get into the more semi-automatic weapons, it requires official blessing, which,
Yeah.
I mean, you're an Ash Warden. That is the thing that you should be able to get.
All right. Where could I see it?
At the link in chat.
Yeah.
Firearms.
Scroll all the way down to it's page 268 of the DMG.
Okay.
That says laser pistol.
That's for the futuristic, just the Renaissance items, except for the automatic pistols and revolvers.
Pistol? Can I have an automatic pistol?
It's 2d6 piercing, sure.
Can I have a shotgun?
Eventually, I believe that Fritz was
Is
working
that
on
what
the
my axe
shotgun
is gonna
axe
be?
for you. Yeah,
Fritz, not Fritz. The dude back at the.
Iron Man, Tony Stark.
oh right, that guy was amazing.
Tony Stank, sorry.
I thought you
Tony
already
Stark- Tony Stark.
requested an
Ash Smith Thomas. Yeah,
I like that the antimatter rifle does necrotic damage.
what destroys matter?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so and that's also probably a thing that Fritz can hammer out. At least the pistol and musket stuff. I don't know if if Fritz is willing, he probably can hammer out something quite a bit nicer if they wanted to.
Probably.
I was
sorry, go ahead.
gonna say I figure Vashla's probably I don't know if this is stereotypical for a dwarf, but fairly robust and maybe stronger than your average human. So maybe she could handle something of higher caliber.
Yeah.
It would probably require custom ammunition, but
Cannon?
so small hand cannon. Renaissance
Mounted
era Desert
cannon.
Eagle.
Get Vashla something that fires grape shot.
Something that mounts on the shoulder of her shield arm,
Yeah.
right? she slots up the shield and takes the shot.
So if
So-
you scroll up slightly, there's an explosive category. It could be a
Yes.
rudimentary grenade launcher.
I just want to point out that because apparently I'm the only person in this call who plays Etrian Odyssey, in Etrian Odyssey 5, the heavy armor class was called the Dragoon, and they got a long rifle with a bayonet and a tower shield with a slot in the top so they can put the gun in it.
That's badass.
Oh, what was that picture I keep on saying?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he linked it a while ago.
I just put it in Roll20 chat again.
Hooray!
Oh, it's so small.
If you blow it up to full size, it should actually be pretty decently large. And also a square if you want to make it an icon.
That's the one I was talking about.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, it's that exact design. Yeah.
That is super cool. Super cool.
Apparently, it decided to make Andrew 75% louder than normal. Yeah. My ears were doing the dying thing.
Andrew has spoken the word of unmaking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So Fritz, what are you gonna do on that front?
I guess yeah, I kind of want to make something that requires fancy rolls here because I want to make something more unique for Vashla.
Okay.
Sort of as not a masterpiece sort of item, but something to progress my crafting, my talent reputation, crafting reputation,
Okay.
gunsmithy reputation, whatever. I'm just looking at the weapons page here. I don't know, Vasha, would you think that she would like something more precise or messy?
Messy. I don't really have a deck score.
Okay, well we can build something that requires other people having a deck score and use the grenade rules. Maybe not 5d6 piercing damage grenades, but
3d6 fire.
Wow,
5d6 fire.
Shit.
that's a lot.
That is
We're burning the rot.
That's still a lot? Like 3d6 is the part that I'm freaking out about, not the fire.
It's each creature within 5 feet of that point must succeed on a DC 12 dexterity check.
I mean, that's-
So I don't have it yet, but I just want to see how this would go. Okay.
Well, no, so you don't have to roll anything. You do the attack, and then they have to roll to not be hit by it.
Right. It's like casting a spell.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 3d6 is for an entire powder horn of gunpowder. So, are you looking at the bomb rolls?
Yeah.
Are you gonna skimp?
okay.
Really? Come on.
But
No, I would say it's not a cheap weapon to fire each time. It's kind of. But yeah, I was looking at gunpowder, not bomb. So bomb is different.
My
It's
God,
Bell's
JC, it's a
sun
bomb.
gun.
a bomb.
A bomb.
Yeah. So the cost would be a concern, perhaps, at this level. We could do. I mean, because I don't know how much gold you have, because I haven't given you anything, because that's not a thing I remember to do.
You totally gave us gold last episode.
Did I?
We got a chit.
We got a little bit.
Yeah, we got a loot token that we can redeem for 1 unit of loot.
No, not just that. We also got gold at the end. When we
yeah.
got it with
Oh yeah,
the
29 gold each.
Right. And the
29.
bombs are looking to cost about 150 gold to assemble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These might be a thing that we do later.
Bombs are also single use, generally speaking.
Right.
Or go have Tony Stark build you like a bandolier of them.
Yeah.
And like in the meantime, you might be able to get like a musket or a pistol hammered out that has little fancier effects, like maybe it explodes a little bit,
I mean, is
doing
there
like a D6 of fire to everything nearby.
was there at least some sort of blacksmith in this town or something?
This town,
Yeah, where we
yeah,
are.
this
currently.
town is like farmers and
Okay.
stuff. There's the guy. Yeah, there. I don't think.
They probably have a guy who melts down their chipped hose and like doesn't do a good job of it.
Right. There's like a baker, a barber, and a mason. Right. And the guy that used to run the inn. It's just enough to keep the village running. Not enough people to warrant a blacksmith.
I might have to commandeer the forge back in town when we head back.
I mean, you have a burning inn right here. You could just set that to work too.
Oh, jeez.
How long has it been burning for? Oh God.
A week and a half. The rot's
Yeah.
really tricky like that.
It just burns forever now. It's a landmark.
Yeah.
Someone please think of the
it's-
children.
Filled with old food that's burning too. I mean, the entire thing is foul.
I mean, I imagine that if the inn was burning, your hall would be like carrying chunks of village that were too rot laden and just constantly piling it on the burning.
That's why it's been burning for a week and a half.
Yeah,
because I'm feeding the fire.
You keep feeding it, and you also keep feeding it like damp earth.
This earth is orange. Oh, the rot is orange, and it turns things orange.
Like Cheetos.
It does.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
Now you can see the other N7 hoodie in the shot.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, cool. So, Snarathi and Keith, what are you up to in this time?
Cleansing the village of rot the old-fashioned way.
At the end.
Tracking things down, setting them on fire, killing stuff if necessary. The old way.
So, typically when you have incursions or infections such as these, it is more common to find a portal nearby that has infected the town rather than a portal in the town. And when that does happen, and it's been here for a while, it seeps into the soil, it seeps into the things around it. There's like tendrils of it, and it corrupts the things around it. This town should be laden with this stuff, and you're not seeing that level of impact here.
Then I would do my best to ascertain what happened if that was not it. Like, if this is an unusual, to my eye, happening, I would try to figure out why.
All right,
While burning stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's get a roll of some kind.
What you want?
Well, I mean, yeah, is this an investigation of some sort? Are you just trying to be intuitive about it? Are you, like, pounding the dirt until the answer comes to you?
I mean, I'm looking around and applying what I remember and know of the thing. I imagine that back in the day, I saw a lot of different presentations of rot infestation, and so I would be sort of cycling back through all that, probably.
Okay. Is that a history, or what do you think?
Call it perception, because I'm looking around.
Sure. Give me perception. All right. So you find a couple things that stand out to you. One is the wagon. The Rat King left it here, and it was filled with straw, and it's not the sort of thing that peasants use to drag their goods to the nearest town, to be dragged to the nearest city. It's ornate. It is. There's decorations on it that you wouldn't find from, like, a guy with a pocket knife carving the bits of it away. And this guy made a throne out of it. There's also the issue of all the food that had been left to rot, and people are eating something.
Definitely burning the food. That's definitely happening. Also, you say that did the entire cart become a throne?
Yeah, he literally kept the entire cart filled with straw and used that as his throne in the village square.
I'll give it kind of a once-over to see if I can tell there's anything of import carved into it. And if there's not, I'm just going to push it into the fire.
You do start picking out symbols and, like, patterns and stuff that you associate with bad things.
Unchristian activity.
Yeah.
I do declare.
My word.
There's been a murder in Savannah.
Do I feel like anyone else in the party would be a more of an expert on this than me?
Well,
I have 4 religions and arcanas.
it's
How busy are you?
Saving this town.
it's also something that you may have come across in a previous life.
Same life. Well, this brings up whole philosophical questions about what is the same life, and
I think I answered it in that previous life.
Fair.
I mean, they die and they get brought back.
So,
what a wonderful day.
What do I remember, or should I roll something?
Let's go ahead and roll something, but just for funsies, I'd like you to roll history, because I like the idea that your memory's full of Swiss cheese.
My history's not a good story. Not.
Well,
Zap, roll 2 yellow and 2 red dice.
Hey, you tried, and we're really proud. Okay? Don't forget that.
Well, so, and, like, in my mind, Yorha's kind of this tragic figure, right? They're bound to the wheel. They spin out of fate when they're needed, and then they go back in to be dropped into storage again. So You've seen all this shit before. Like, all of this absolutely reminds you of the time and the place, and you can see this dude, and you totally killed the dude.
But I don't know why, I don't know where, and I don't know what import it had.
Right. These symbols are bad. You equate them with Yora's version of heresy.
We will burn the cart then. We're burning the cart.
All right. The cart is burned, and assuming all the straw and stuff.
Oh yeah, whole thing just gets pushed right into the fire.
So the cart itself does not smoke like normal wood. as you push it in there. Like the entire thing has this weird oily orange smoke to it.
Okay. Yep, that's rotwood. That's bad. It's a good thing that I burned it.
Yeah, and again, it triggers something in the back of your mind. This sort of thing has happened before with wagons and stuff rolling into places and people getting sick. But like more details than that, you're having a hard time around.
Okay. Once I feel like I've done my due diligence, I would probably report that to my commander. And inform him that I have destroyed all of the rot that I could find in the village.
Are you also reporting the details of the wagon before? Or just that you just destroyed it?
Hey, boss, burnt a wagon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Yorha is both like self-righteous and driven enough to just do the thing and tell you afterwards. Wagon has been burnt, or is currently burning.
I mean, but do you tell Fritz the details of the wagon, or just that you burned a wagon? Because like one, he wouldn't
I
care.
tell him that.
Boss, I burned a wagon.
Like, okay,
Yeah,
why
so
you
there's a
talking-
wagon burning. No, sir, there's some sort of all these sorts of wagons being a thing, and I don't know why I remember them. But it's on fire now, so it's all better.
Would I have come across these plague wagons in my studies?
Yes, like absolutely roll a thing.
Okay. Would this be considered a magic item?
For very high values of magic items, sure.
I have this, so how do I make it go in chat? That I have that.
Yes, this would
Okay.
count as a magic item, a chemical object, or a technological device.
Okay, so then whatever, I can't see what that is because there's a Discord in the way. Roll a dice.
Diggity.
Oh, okay.
Jesus
Well,
God.
it's technically a 27, I guess, but
Okay.
You know, no big deal. Just totally crapped it. Crit it.
Good job, Erin.
This is a common pattern that a group of cultists called the Inevitable Decline use. Is they will bring in these wagons that are tainted with rot and distribute food stuff to people that need them, who then eat and get tainted with rot and fall under their sway and control. And they use that to destroy regions. And if allowed to work unfettered, they will infect villages and towns and cities and cause no end of horror to the people around them. And it's the sort of thing where like that's how things started the first time around, is that people showed up with boats filled with these things unknowingly and started infecting a place that wasn't ready for it. And here you are in the Kingdom of Rot, a desolate wasteland of people just starting to get back together, and someone is doing this, and they're likely very organized, and this is likely not the only one.
okay, so this needs to be brought to someone's attention right away.
Well, I can send a message 120 feet.
It is just a line of sorcerers. Back in the capital.
I think it's instantaneous, so we could like railgun a message. Just need a network of sorcerers.
Keith just shouts out.
we have
"Goblin train!"
sorcerers sitting on chairs
Yeah.
every 120 feet.
Yeah.
The density of sorcerers required for that is absurd.
Well, we only run them like up thoroughfares, like
Yeah.
roads back to.
And there's just carts constantly driving up and down to feed us.
Like half the infrastructure in the kingdom is dedicated to keeping all these damn communication sorcerers alive.
Do you follow the road, or do you do like a straight line, like as the case flies?
As the case flies, yeah.
I imagine you can make them walk like 20 feet in each direction, and accept the latency of the communication.
You're just like, fuck, the wizards are out of alignment. Hold
Yeah.
on, and you had a horn, and okay,
What
okay,
if
they're
you-
back on the
shake
spot.
Just shake the crystal ball. And be like, "Ah!"
What if some of the sorcerers are birds that fly around and collect the messages and then have to fly and then
They f-
airdrop them?
They fly in a V to yeah.
That begs the question: does the spell know when there's a receiver, or do you just like shout into the ether and hope somebody's listening?
Well, so you make the first
Busy signal.
you make the
it
first
P-
word of every message ping, and then they reply
Is it
back with a
CCP or
pong
UDP?
afterwards.
I mean, you have to use double the components, but really, it's the only way to be sure.
Okay, we're nerds.
Stop. I don't want to write the networking protocol for this.
You don't have to.
Goddamn
We're the
close.
players.
Or just one. Is the vocal component for this spell stop?
we get a Genasi, and then we just put everything in the cloud.
Oh,
Cloud's having good times.
God damn it. TC priest, I priest. Oof. Okay. Okay, let's get back on track. Yeah, what do we have for mundane communication? Does anything exist, Mike? Is it us?
It is you.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
You are
pretty fast.
right. It's you 5. If you have horses, great. But like you're there's no FTL. There's not like a system of birds, right? It's not Game of Thrones. Kaith, it's messenger Kaiths.
With actual
Um,
birds. Or
yeah,
with
I mean-
actual wings.
With actual birds. I mean, occasionally the knights are asked to deliver letters and stuff, but like there's not a dedicated postal service. Although that's the thing that's pretty interesting.
Should we invent a postal service to make our lives easier?
Okay, so the campaign just took a left turn. We're
Yeah.
now inventing. We're reestablishing postal communications with the Southlands.
Welcome to that domestic policy and delivery podcast. My name is Andrew Otway. I just realized we didn't introduce ourselves, I don't think.
No,
Crap!
At
All
all.
right, we didn't.
All right,
I
stop
just
streaming.
myself.
We're going to start over.
Yeah, we're 58 minutes in. Let's just turn this bus around.
Yeah, it's fine.
This front side bus around.
In Discord order, please go.
No. Anyways. Where were we?
I don't know.
You were
who I
inventing
am.
the Pony Express.
we were
Not helping, Mike.
we're waiting on our commanding gnome to tell us something about what we need to do now.
I think we just need to report back to the. God, I forgot her title already. Governess, whatever. Her name is.
Baroness.
Baroness. Matilda or something. I don't
If-
remember her name either.
I thought she was.
Here, it's
Oh.
very likely being done to surrounding villages as well, right?
How close in proximity do they usually flood regions?
Well, a 4. So,
So the question was Fritz asking Yorha or himself pondering out loud. I wonder how often they. Oh, I know the answer to that. It depends, right? They kind of spread out to see if they can establish a foothold someplace, and when they do, they dig in hard.
Okay.
This guy's been here a while, long enough that the feeding town took notice of what was going on and was concerned. Feeding city, even, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
I feel like
it's 2 levels bad.
we need to get back to the central source of information and see if we can find any other patterns that would indicate other towns are already under sway.
I have
towns that
I have a dumb idea, and because this is a Mike campaign, it might not be a dumb idea, but we could split the party.
I'd be down for that.
I mean, we atomized the party in Star Wars.
Like that's a very different. I mean, just like going all the way back, it's a very different game
Yes.
environment in which to split the party.
Yes.
And we could send a scouting party to go look. We could also pay a goblin to go check the outlying villages.
So a goblin got within like 100 feet of this village and was stuck up a tree being pelted with rocks.
Yeah.
So I don't know that. I don't know that they're reliable messengers purely because of the last mile of service. Unless they like get out within range of the city, just shout our message 3 times, and then fuck off back to the forest.
To teach them the message spell. And they can teach each of their kids the message spell.
Yeah.
They can teach each of their kids the message spell.
And then we just make a train of goblins.
And like all 6 of their
That's
kids.
That's our sorcery network right there, because that's like exponential sorcerer growth, right? So we have generations of goblins that are spread
Multi-level messaging
across the countryside, messaging each other. It's like we invented smartphones for teenagers, but way early, because they're all going to be like kids.
So, the brick settles his way up and he says, this is somewhat... I could not help but notice that you had mentioned the goblins, and me being a fine goblin with a lovely fancy hat, decided to interject myself in a kowtowing and understanding of my role place where I am not lofty like you fine heroes position.
Do you have a point?
There are other ways that we have been using to get around.
Such as?
Well, and he pulls out the key and that he showed you earlier, Basha.
Oh my god, I'm angry.
So we have taken upon ourselves to find unused locations of living and make use of generous usages of previous inhabitants. And in doing so, we've discovered, I would not say many, but some alternative means of travel in a more hospitable climate.
Can I assume that means like minecart tracks down below?
He's absolutely referencing a goblin infestation of your home.
Yes.
Wait, Jordan, did you live in a Donkey Kong country?
We used to ride the rhinoceroses everywhere.
Well, no, the minecarts. Yeah. All the barrels and minecarts and bananas dwarves like.
Boom.
I did not mention the other stuff. I mean,
Canon now, it's too late.
I suppose if you made the bananas into alcohol, I can see it.
I mean, it's nothing but banana schnapps.
It's just
Flows like water.
wineskins.
Yeah.
Wineskins containing
Well,
beer.
that, I mean, you need a lot of potassium if you're not going to be out and about.
See, I don't know. Vasha's torn because she doesn't want to just like let them run around in more of her people's homes. She's very touchy about that.
Well, if it helps, it is very kind, noble creatures such as yourselves, to allow lower, lesser beings such as me, Goblin, and my 5 hungry-mouthing children that need to be fed. A roof over their heads, many layers deep.
Do you lose some children since our last conversation?
It's
Sorry for your
the
loss.
the child mortality rate of goblin kind is not great.
Or it is great, but in a terrible way.
Perhaps doing it to the fact that we live a nomadic lifestyle, bouncing between hateful village and hateful
Do you
village.
just forget you have children and leave them behind? Is that what you're saying?
I
If they can
look,
keep
it's-
up, great.
Distraction 2 through 7 were necessary casualties.
Recently, I have discovered bushes that can sometimes talk to me, which causes us to be somewhat, shall we say, lax in our duties.
Hey, boss! Do you need me to do anything, boss?
I now know that it is due to a hallucinogen caused by inducing too little liquor, and I've begun drinking heavily to compensate.
I have murdered this goblin's liver.
Exactly. Your conversation spell is causing liver damage over time.
Is this like secondhand smoking, the secondhand spell casting?
Ooh, I like that too.
You're just like slowly rotting his mind out because of all the messages.
Oh my god. So I'm gonna assume that he's probably the first person I've encountered humans and whatnot in the South, but like none of them. This is the closest I've ever been to being able to see my people's like tags and whatnot.
I mean, did you invite humans down to the tags?
I don't think so. I think especially when the rat broke out, we like closed our doors.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the human physiology can't handle being fired from a barrel over a series of jumps. So it would have been it was a crueler way to die, really.
Does Yorha have personal experience with it?
Yorha arrived in a few chunks on the other side, and then someone hastily resurrected him.
It's his version of quick traveling.
Shoot, boom, gets splatted into a wall.
I think Vasha's gonna reconsider, and open like if there's a door nearby, she will open it and show how.
Okay.
With the key.
Take the key. Suffer not the goblin to have entryway into your shit. You could possibly buy it from him. I'd chip in.
Yeah, I wasn't really getting we'll just sell you that because that's where I originally thought that conversation was going. I probably approach Burke and ask him directly how much he would part that key for.
Well, like I said, I am happy to exchange this key for the perhaps more information in. I am looking to set up a permanent goblin settlement in places where the humans will not come and set us on fire and poke six of us up trees and generally hang us from things or do horrific things to my friends and families and children. And the safest place I have found so far is under the ground. There's plentiful amounts of food, very many delicious bugs, glowing fungus, things that I frankly don't know what they are, but we scraped them off the wall once and were good enough. And if we could set up shop in one of these, I believe you said they were called tags, and perhaps turned it into a bustling community.
I would agree to one additional thing. I would like me and my companions to go through first, since
Okay.
it's the former home of my people.
Are you,
Yeah,
like, literally the last dwarf of your clan?
No, I think when my family had fled to the north, and we were taken in by like some northern dwarf royalty, but I am like the last of my line.
I'm just saying, like, giving away your, like, hometown. is
I'm not
kind of
sure.
expensive.
Right. I don't know.
It's not their hometown. This is a town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's still something I want to go through first.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the previous inhabitants aren't ever going to come back. Whether they were lost to the rot or lost to the battalion, like in the battalion that came with me.
Or, I mean, maybe they just have their doors sealed and, like, there's a bunch of people living down there.
Maybe. And it would be better if I went in first versus Burke.
Burke takes his fancy hat off and scratches his head, and he says, "Well, of course, you brave heroes are so noble and wise. I could not help but accept such a thoughtful counteroffer."
Every time you describe this guy, I picture, like, 3 hairs and a comb over, and, like, when he scratches his head, there's just, like, a cloud of, like, itchy green dandruff drifting off.
But in, like, kind of a...
It's an endearingly cute and pathetic way.
Right. It's endearing, but also awful.
Yes.
So my other thought process is we could build a new home later if that's what it took, but I would want what's inside.
Well, my other thought process is we could always come back and kill all the goblins and take back what was rightfully ours.
Get a sub-tag. Sublease the tag.
Good. Oh God!
What?
Check Discord chat. I found Burke as a dog.
It's Steven.
That's perfect. Like turn that green. Somebody turn the green filters up.
Yeah. Now I'll take a swing at colorizing that after this.
Anyway, I'm gonna ask Burke how far away you think the door is from the village.
Well, it's not
Sorry.
far. Door not far.
I had a hiccup. You.
Just the one. Cool. I'm probably gonna tell Sinrathi or Fritz that I would very much so like to check this door out before we head back.
I mean, wasn't Burke suggesting it as a way to get back faster?
Yes, but I'm not really in a position to demand this is what we're doing.
Sure.
No, I mean, if it's possibly a faster return to the...
I can't guarantee
area.
what we'll find beyond the door.
Oh, there's only one way to find out. Okay. Besides, there might be things that I need to research.
Oh, there also might be, there will definitely be a forge at the very least. And probably gonna like look over at your head and be like, maybe we'll go as soon as he's done. Oh God.
It did not help.
No, it's just a dog like under a transdimensional portal that's puking out aliens. Like it's not.
It's a dog in every film like grow up ever because of course they have to light the marijuana plants with green light.
Mm-hmm. Like has been hotboxed.
Yeah.
And hence the silly grin. I've had so many Twinkies. All right. So, there's an option on the table. I don't know who wants to go with it. Fritz, are you down with checking out the this hike? The deep road, so to speak? Is there anything to be done here or left of the village?
Have we cured all the people?
Yes.
Burned all the things.
We.
I was an assistant.
I assistanted.
That's probably exactly what Kate would say.
Not, I'm helping.
I kind of think that like as you guys are doing this, some of the goblins start like following you around and trying to replicate what you're doing. So Narthri and Keith.
Okay. Is there any spark out of them?
No,
Okay.
no, maybe not yet.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see at 3rd level.
I mean, yeah. I'm fairly idealistic, but at some point I'm like there is pragmatism that has to kick in. It's like if I can teach you to do this, then that's more people we can save.
And that's all you will do for the rest of your life. You realize this, yes?
That's kind of the problem that Sinrathi is staring down, but willing to like.
Congratulations, you're a salvation vending machine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the same time, if they could learn how to do it, the other people would look down on them a lot less.
Yep. But at this point, I'm everyone's own personal Jesus.
Reach out and touch faith.
Yep. Okay, so after you finish up carrying as many people as you can, burning as much as you can, spearing things with your new mind thorns, I guess, that you want to.
I had another question.
Yeah.
For those of us who had taken damage in the last encounter, what do?
Right. Which encounter? The one with all the orange stuff?
The one that left me at 2 HP out of 15.
I thought this was a long rest.
Yeah, I think you heal all the way back up on a long rest.
Do you?
I mean, you would roll a hit die, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could spend hit die and replace them.
Yeah.
You
On the
spend
long
hit
rest.
dice? I'm pretty sure I remember reading that on a.
Well, I'm just
long
saying,
rest-
at the least, I could do that.
Okay, so it's on page 196 of the player's handbook. Is damage and healing?
Long rest is a period of extended downtime, at least 8 hours, during which a character sleeps, performs light activity. At the end of a long rest, character regains all lost hit points. Yep. Also
Neat.
regains spent hit dice up to a number of dice equal to half the character's total number.
Delicious.
I have 2.
Can't benefit from more than one long rest in a 24-hour period. I like that.
Good thing we're here for a week.
Right, I'm just saying, like, that's a good thing to keep people from, like, okay, we do a fight, we're gonna long rest.
Walk
We do a
10
fight,
feet.
we're gonna long rest.
Murder a
the
room.
5-minute workday.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you guys follow Brix and his merry band of fools to an outcropping on a hill. And Vashla, as you're following around these people, there are clear signs to you of what's nearby. You see that these so-called random stackings of stones, and these are all tells. They're all signs to wayward dwarves. They're cairns. They're markers on a road, and not everyone may see it, but you can tell by the different densities of stone that you're walking on. Dwarf stuff. I'm sure dwarves have stone sense or whatever in this edition.
Yeah.
It's like those highways that have the speed strips on them. When you drive over them, they like play a tune.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
But like the dwarf just marching along like gets this song, like this memory of home or something.
Yeah, there's like this rhythm to their steps because they're shorter. They've got a different length of stride.
And then I have diggy diggy hole in my head.
Yes. The song of your people.
Yes. I am a dwarf.
And I'm digging a hole.
And you come across what is effectively what was once a large door. It's been hastily camouflaged, and as Brix walks up to it, he pulls like several, for him, large tree branches like off the stone archway that leads down. It's crappy camouflage, but I mean, if you don't know what you're looking for, it's fairly effective. He says, "This is so this is just the entrance And I probably should mention that not everything down here is super great, but like for compared to the things in the outside world, I think they're much better.
Sorry, say that again.
It's not all glowing fungus and beetles down here.
Mm-hmm.
There are parts we might actually like.
Yeah.
Are there monsters?
Yes.
Awesome.
Like, I don't know if you've seen anything like, nothing beautiful like a six-eyed bird, but, you know, scary things like trains.
And transportation barrel cannons.
Yeah. And rhinoceros.
The
Also,
train
many
is
children to the cannons.
the train is how we're gonna get back to town fast.
But, you know, several goblins have died accidentally setting off traps, crushed to death under giant stone hands. It's not always fun, but we find it a lot safer than not being down here.
It's a shame they aren't kobolds, or they'd be good at traps.
Did you say hands?
Yes.
Like, and then she holds up her hands and wiggles her fingers. Hands.
Oh yeah, but big stone ones. And he holds up his hand and he's like two of those. Like
Okay.
the big one with the meaty fist and the sword on the end of a stick.
Mm.
Like hands that could hold its head. And he kind of mimes it like by picking up a rock and goes, "Ur."
Guys, I don't think I can kill statues.
That's
I have
Pretty
a
sure
bow
I've
and
killed
arrow.
statues.
Okay. I just have a bow and arrow, so I'm gonna stay in the back. If there's statues, we have to fight.
I thought you were our scout. You don't have to stay in the front, but I mean,
Okay. I mean, we'll figure something out. I don't want to be the one on the front lines fighting the statues.
no, that's we can arrange
Agree to
that.
disagree. We'll work out the details later.
we can arrange that. Just
I
6 eyes are better than 2.
probably say something to the effect that I imagined I would be in the vanguard anyway.
Hey, we could hang out and talk. It'd be great. But like quiet talk, because we have to pay attention.
In the
'Cause we're
front.
scouting.
In the front. I thought you didn't want to be in the front.
Well, they told me I'm supposed to be, so you know I gotta do my job. We could be front buddies. We can make up a front buddy song.
We're in the front.
Since you looked at me.
We're in the front, and we're digging a hole. Diggy hole.
How good are you at digging, Kate?
Well, you see, the thing is, I'm a bird, and we usually go up and not down.
Oh my god, the like builder birds are like woodpeckers.
Ooh, I was thinking like digging in the dirt for worms is like the lowest form of thing that like an Avix does.
I'm sorry, I just imagined the builder birds like giving themselves concussions.
Bird the
Especially
builder.
the braces they wear,
Yeah.
it's fine.
They have one that's like they have a non-woodpecker that's like a temp, and he's trying to find his job, and he just gets a concussion day one, and he has to go home.
It's he thought he was a builder, but he wasn't.
Listen, not everybody's phenotype matches their genotype.
So the goblin puts down the rock and he says, "All right, enough dilly-dallying. Come on."
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave them.
And it crawls into this hole in the door that's not designed for things to crawl into. It's supposed to be a fancy keyhole.
I really wanted to believe that it was, and the doors had like goblin doors, so the goblins can get in and out at night.
Oh, that's actually
Are the goblins screwed because a lot of the dwarves are gone, so they're buddies?
Well, there's like no table scraps left.
I mean, that's how I envisioned the goblins as kind of dwarf rats, but I didn't want to like force that on them.
You don't want to pigeon rat hole that.
Right.
Dwarf rats.
Yeah, so it goes through this hole, and then there's like a clanging sound, and then Brick's cursing wildly, and then eventually the door starts to swing open with the sound that you can only describe as rusty rocks, right? Rusty scraping of not metal, but like of earthen things, old and not meant to be rusty.
Was the shouting part of the unlocking? And I look over. I look over at Vashla. Or is that just extra?
No, shouting is required.
Oh, okay.
And the door finally opens wide enough for Bricks to head back out, and he has like a giant like bone white insect maggot thing that he scraped up from somewhere and is munching on it happily. All right, there is a nest of bone maggots here on the right. If you want one, they're quite tasty. Just grab one and keep on walking down.
Munch, munch, munch.
It's slimy but satisfying.
Try anything once.
I've probably eaten gross things before.
I'm good,
Pretty
thanks.
good.
You're just like, I'll just get resurrected after I starve to death.
Done it before.
God, that's terrifying. That's so horrible.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things you remember in your Swiss cheese memory is starving to death.
It's actually been a tactic at times because like they could bring us back.
To like withstand a siege, you only need to feed the 20 clerics.
Jeez, guys.
And they just keep on resurrecting him for more meat. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse. I love it.
Long pig.
guys.
Hey,
Oh, I mean,
what is like Yorha's top 3 worst ways to die?
I think Yorha may have forgotten them on purpose.
Yeah, I bet they're blocked. Like the worst ones are like blocked but accessible somehow, and yeah.
You just need to hack your own memories.
No, we need to find something to just, like the rest of the party can unlock.
we don't need to trigger poor Yorha.
The stuff Yorha remembers is starving to death and then being resurrected to starve to death again.
Yeah.
So
I think you're already carrying the weight of the world.
Yeah. Sinrath, if you do grab one of these things, they have roughly the texture of like eating bubble wrap filled with
Custard?
what?
Custard?
Beer flavored custard, yes. So it's incredibly tough to chew through, and when you finally do it pops into your mouth all at once.
I've probably had worse, but not by much.
Back home, we call these gushers. The ones that are harder to chew, there's some that are harder to chew, believe it or not. We call those squeakers because they kind of squeak in your beak when you eat them.
I like the phrase "squeak in your beak." I'm gonna write that down. Nobody's doing it.
Oh my god, the science birds are beakers.
We call those squeakers.
Because they squeak in your beak.
Squeak in your beak. You
The mechanics are tweakers.
I remember telling Mike like sometime last year something about squeaker tweakers for Apocalypse World. Right?
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about a potential thing that David could imagine for his child. I forgot what it's called.
Child thing.
Child thing.
Yeah.
Child thing.
Anyway, so looking around, do I see anything left by my people, like weapons or tools or?
No. Anything here has been anything this high, anything this close to the surface has been salvaged many times over.
Okay.
And the fact that things that vermin eat is so close to what was kind of like a ceremonial entranceway that is no longer staffed by any people is kind of like depressing.
Yeah.
It's like coming into your front door to your it's like driving into your neighborhood and seeing like what's
It's just like someone has strewn their garbage bag across the front lawn.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like raccoons got into it and just like, poof, it's everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in Port Moody if someone didn't put the bear clamps on their trash bin.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, a reference we can all understand.
Oh come on! Don't tell me you haven't gone to the dump to watch the bears.
No, this is the bears come by your driveway and destroy
Yeah.
your garbage can
Yeah.
and spread it everywhere.
No. That's the thing we had to deal with in Michigan as well.
Okay.
Last time I saw a bear, I tried to pet it. So
Oh,
yeah,
Why?
because I like animals, Jordan,
bears like you too. They just,
to death.
yeah.
Show that in different ways. So as you go kind of deeper into this development sort of thing, Vashel, one of the things you do notice is that the goblins have not like wrecked things.
Yeah.
They have scraped fungus off the wall, but like the glowing fungus that used to serve as elegant lamps have gone wild, grown old. But they're not like they haven't been torn down, right? They're not destroying the frescoes on the wall or digging up the road tiles or anything like that. There are a shitload of goblins here though. Like Brix is like just saying hi to everybody that he meets, and like he gives finger guns a couple times, and it's just like oh, hey there, Glect, Hots Club, how you guys doing? Long time no see. You know, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Snicked,
Yeah.
snacked, and bub.
Right, snick, snacked, bub. Right, and like a couple of them have these rudimentary like trading post things that they've set up. Like think goblin lemonade stand. They're not selling goblin and lemonade, but they're selling like the finest grubs. Check these grubs out. These grubs are sweeter than any other grubs. Look, they're so tender they pop in your paws. And like they have hats with glowing things on them, like goblin. What's the? They seem to have some sort of hat based economy.
Okay.
So the fancier hat is a higher status of wealth. And you get more feathers in your hat, that sort of thing. And
Is there a swarm of goblins surrounding Kate, admiring her feathers?
they are trailing behind Kaith at what they consider to be a respectable distance. So it's like 3 microns.
Yeah, I'm probably very, very just torn on the goblin presence here, but I do appreciate the fact that there, one, is such a crazy amount, and they aren't tearing my place apart, like my people's place apart. So I'm definitely taking that into consideration as I'm walking through.
Is this a place that Vashlan knows? Or is like
I've never actually been in any tags in the south. I mean, I might have been into like one that was kind of salvaged further up north, but I only know them through
Where was
what I've
your
been told.
betrothed from?
He's a northern family that took some southern dwarves in.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking that he wasn't like the heir in his family, but like he was still quite beloved and knowledgeable about this sort of thing. So I guess like it was more like he wanted to come along to take part in restoration.
The field trip.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. So this setup is different than the northern tags, at least the ones that you've been to. It's set up more like a trading post, from what you can tell. Like this area here was meant for the dwarves to bring up things that they have made and hawk to surface dwellers.
Yeah.
And they bring up trinkets made of stone and rock and things that weren't actually valuable in your opinion. Things that you didn't want that were valuable because of dwarven craftsmanship, but like the equivalent of pots and pans. And while a good pot is everything to certain people, like especially in the surrounding villages, it's just like the dwarven rocksmith took 5 minutes and knocked one of these out.
Well, I mean, good quality masonry is still pretty important when building houses or wells.
That's true.
But this is someone selling you like tchotchkes.
Well, the people around here would not see them as tchotchkes. The
Okay.
dwarves would, right?
Yeah.
And the goblins are basically living in the hallways outside the city, the equivalent of like along the wall of the city, right? They're not actually in the city yet. And Brix brings you over to this. It's all dark here. A lot of the glowing fungus lanterns have faded, and you can't quite see up into the upper reaches unless you have dark vision, in which case it's just
I think everyone but Yorha does.
right. It's just it's a giant arch. It's like that the King Kong double doors in Jurassic Park sort of thing. And Burke stops you and stops everyone and says, "Okay, from here the doors get tricky. There are traps. Please be careful of your feeding. My cousin Sturg, he lost an eyelid this way.
Just the lid.
Oh
Yeah.
no, is he okay?
Yeah, I mean, he always looks surprised now, which is pretty funny."
Well, he lost one eyelid.
Right. And it's like this. Yeah, exactly. It's goblin emoji.
This is actually the emoji goblin clan.
Yeah.
You can see from their hats.
Oh, idea too.
Damn it, no. Jordan, what have you done?
Something wonderful.
And Vasha, that's not unusual for dwarves to trap the shit out of their entrances. But there should be a way of disarming it that the
Yeah.
locals would know. But I don't know if that's a thing you should pick up or not.
But like, you mean the village we came from? Not necessarily the goblins or anything.
The goblins aren't gonna know it, but like the dwarven locals.
Oh yeah,
The folks who lived in the Tig would know how to disarm this hallway, but
right. I imagine that they were especially set up when the rot was just beginning. Oh my god.
what?
Discord.
Oh, even better.
No. You even named it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I probably am aware that there's going to be like some sort of off switch somewhere not too far inside. If we can find it. Oh god. I can't look away from the dog.
That's what gives it power.
I can help investigate if you want.
Yeah, I think I would probably want to go try finding a way to disarm it with Case.
Vanguard buddies.
I mean, I can come help.
We
Trap in the
use
face.
we use you as like kind of a safety thing. Well, it's okay if the trap gets him.
So instead of being a portable rogue, Yorhas are expendable rogue?
Well, here's the thing, right? I now have advantage on dex saves too.
Oh, because danger sense?
Yeah. I'm actually fairly trap resistant between being just a giant mountain of person and also hard to hit with stuff.
Okay, so we're basically having Sinrathi and Fritz wait by the front door. Or not the front door, but like the door until we investigate the traps.
In my
Is there
head,
any-
you guys, in my head, Keith and Vashla are like standing well back and like directing Yorha around, like pulling levers and doing whatever.
You might lose an eyelid.
If we don't want to
Next time.
disarm the traps with Yorha's face, I think Fritz is probably the best one at disarming them without them going off.
So it seems like we need somebody to spot them, somebody to disarm them, and then somebody to face roll them if 1 and 2 don't work.
All right, so give me a check. Disable mechanism.
See if I can find them. 16 to look.
So you find the trap that you think was the sort of thing that would take a goblin eyelid, and you're quite frankly shocked that it didn't decapitate the dude wholesale. Like, if this goblin dodged this thing, then it must be filled with the luckiest powder. It must be made of Lucky Rabbit's feet. There's a hidden scything blade trap here at the entrance, right? Like, these people are not fucking around. That you're fairly certain would, like, kill you if you had accidentally stepped on it.
Yorha, look out over there. That thing will take your knees right out.
I try to avoid it.
Hey Fritz, can you turn it off?
I imagine. So, once again, there's no real skill, but I'm assuming tool proficiency might stand in for this kind of checks.
Sure. I thought that there was a disable trap.
Sleight of hand? It's like
Not really, like
that's the roguiest skill on the list that isn't stealth. I mean, survival is trapping, but it's like trapping game, not trapping intruders.
Yeah, how is this not a thing that exists?
like that's why I think the tool proficiencies kind of stand in for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
So if anybody needs some shoes made,
Yeah, so it's probably just like a dex roll plus whatever your tools are.
Well, I'm assuming it's an intelligence roll.
yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. I don't know. I don't know nothing about
Just
nothing.
knowing how mechanisms work seems
Oh,
like
yeah.
it'd stand in. Like,
That makes sense.
I mean, the only thing I have is like stone cunning.
Sleight of hand. At least at the third level fast hands, you can use your cunning action to make a exterior hand check to use disarm a trap or open a lock. Use an object action. That might just be that specific thing. So let's look. What chapter has all the skill?
and if you want sleight of hand, you have to have someone else disarm these things.
I'm just curious what they intend.
Apparently, those are covered under Thieves' Tools proficiency.
What are?
Super weird to me, actually, because one of the things that rogues get is double their proficiency bonus to things, right?
Yeah.
But it's always to their actual skills. Please. So you can't be a rogue that's super good at disarming traps.
Disarming them is typically a dex check with Thieves' Tool proficiency bonus added in.
I mean,
There you go.
sure, it's easy enough. I actually have a thieves' tools kit and everything. so 12.
You have thieves' tools?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you add
One
your
of my-
proficiency bonus? I guess.
that should have been with the yeah.
Okay.
So the you're turning with it and you hear a click. What do you do?
Well, it didn't go off, so that's good.
I didn't say that.
It's
I know.
about to.
No, I'm aware.
All right, Adam, roll your proficiency and ability dice versus 3 challenge dice.
Roll Defy Danger Eyelid.
Yeah, just
I'll
give
roll with a
me,
meat shield.
give me like what's your action? What do you take when you hear that click?
I mean, if there's not blades flying all of a sudden, I would imagine the click means that I've successfully disarmed it.
So you put your arms up and celebrate.
And then you get to build new arms.
Nuclear arms.
So the trap doesn't appear to be disarmed. Like when you hear the click as you're working through it. Well, I mean, yes, you disarm the trap.
I was gonna say the trap isn't disarmed, but you are.
It doesn't trigger. It doesn't go off and attack you. But something unexpected certainly happened.
I didn't expect this.
God damn it.
How could I have expected this?
Why are you the king of deadpan?
His face was frozen when he said that too. It was pretty amazing.
Roll 20, unable to serve video, actually serving a dramatic purpose.
And okay, yeah, that's all that happens right there, right at this very instance. There's an ominous clicking sound, and Fritz is like, "Yeah, this is fine."
Traps sometimes make clicking noises when you release a spring or something that trigger mechanisms, so it doesn't seem currently ominous. I don't know.
Brooks goes up and he like kind of looks at it and kind of kicks the trap. He's like, this thing is fucking huge. There's no way this took his eyelid. All right, let's keep going. And he kind of like blazes on ahead. And there are a number of traps like that. There's like a stone fall trap, like an acid spray trap. And it's, you follow the same pattern. Keith points them out. Yorha carefully does not step on them. Fritz trips them. And then Brix is all like, this makes it much easier. Thank you guys so much. You know how much time it takes to carefully walk down these hallways? I do not recommend it. I much prefer following in the footsteps of brave noble here. You know, if I have to say this every time I mention it, no, you deserve it. You are you. Brave and noble heroes in the journey. And before you know it, you get to the front door, the Tiger, the entrance gate, if you will. And Vashla, it is set in the southern style. Includes these. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Opulent carvings to the point of not garishness, but like these are people who spend a shitload of time on their carvings, care deeply about them, and like the carvings have carvings, and like the carvings have stories. So like the arches are two mighty dwarves holding up a replica of the sky, right?
Do they have a
like
bracelet made out of bone?
a what?
A bracelet? Going for Dwarf Fortress descriptions here.
Oh yes, this one is holding a lamb shank, which is very fond. It references the finding of a lamb shank 4 BC. And yeah, the sculptors do that thing. They have their ew. What is that?
God.
Why did I click
it.
on that? Is it an eyelid on that?
Grape. It's a peeled grape.
Ugh.
As soon as you said opulent sculpture, I got the intro cinematic of Darkest Dungeon stuck in my head.
Yes, and it's got that same kind of like at this point ominous quality to it because there's no light, right? It's just you've got the grayscale of your dark vision that you're looking at. It's
Yara's just stumbling around in front. Left, right, left.
Stop. Your other left. You're just not even trying.
Never had to learn my lesson from my right. I just died and came back.
I'm just picturing there are like little bits of uneven ground in the hallway, and you just constantly hear Yorha trip.
Fuck.
And you hear his glaive hit the floor.
You know that when we used to disarm traps back in the core, right? They would just tie a rope around your waist and hurl you in, like have you sprint down a hallway, and then they would haul your body back out and res it, and then you would do it again.
And the dwarves are holding up the sky and this carving, and there's stuff above them. It goes up and up and up, and you didn't think you were that far down, but you cannot see whatever it is above, and it gives you the sense of the sky being missing. It's all very odd for dwarves.
Yeah.
And the carving comes out, the whole gate structure comes out, is like this oblong kind of dome sort of structure, pooching out from the walls of the city. And in the center, there is the contraption that doubles as a key. And Brix pulls it out and hands it to you and says, "Okay, now I'm super curious to see how this works because we consider ourselves to be quite intelligent people, and goblin kind, that is. And I know that we are no brave and noble heroes such as yourselves, but this thing is very tricky."
So probably as we were approaching the door, I was just staring up, at all the carvings, and I had pulled out the chain I have that has my wedding rings and my husband's wedding ring on it, because this is what we came down south for. And just look at the key. So out of character, I don't really know what I could say to describe her fiddling with the key, but I'm sure that she would have dealt with these keys before, because even moving north, the key style was probably still made, just it wasn't as prevalent as, I don't know, whatever the northern dwarfs use.
Well, first you bop it, then you twist it.
And then we leave it outside, right? Like,
yeah,
we were talking about with Belle's gun.
The fungus.
The fleeb.
Yeah, the fleeb. So it may be there's something intrinsic. There's maybe some sort of dwarfiness about the key, right? It could be arcane. It could be something beyond just the mundane. There could be it could be a red herring, right? There might be a part of the wall that you have to press first, right? Like you gotta knock someplace before you can hit.
I have to say friend.
The other thing is that maybe there are automatons that guard and open the door for those people who bear the correct seal, right? And the key is, again, just a ruse. Silly small minds like goblins.
I really do like the idea of automatons. Kind of like caretakers. No! Why would you say that? You cannot continue. Yeah, there maybe is something Not necessarily that I have to say, but that I have to do once it's in the lock. Probably, gosh, I don't want to say like a pin pad or something, but
I mean, that's like this rock of the stone or the gate appearing to be, more tough and malleable than it actually is also kind of a neat dwarfy thing. Like you push the key in and twist it, and then you type in like a number on it or whatever, right? You put in your own personal code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, 451.
oh wait, no, I just pictured it. So like, I put my hand down and I look into this thing to look at my eye, and that's how the other goblin lost one of his
Oh, nice. So the goblin lied to Bricks about how far he'd gotten. Nice, I like that. There's. So you do that, and there's a shuddering as the door begins to open, and the door opens about a quarter of the way. And this is a large door, a large in the D&D sense of the word. It takes up like 20 feet by 20 feet. It's freaking huge, and like the center portion, it begins to open from the center outwards, and it opens the center portion, and there is a another one of these statues there that's about the same size and shape of a dwarf, and it rocks forward, it lurches forward, and it opens its mouth, and it grunts out, "Intruders forbidden, sealed, remove." And it does not look at you.
Mm-hmm.
It does not stop at you.
Right.
But it goes right for, I'm assuming Yorha is right behind you, or perhaps Bricks.
I was right behind you and completely blind.
Right.
Is there some sort of is there some sort of phrase I might know of that might like override its
Would you kindly?
yeah, just let's no, like they're like dwarf plus guests.
Give me persuasion.
Okay, I was gonna go for history with stone cutting, but
That's fine too, if you want to try that.
okay. So the thing is, I have history as one of my things I'm proficient at,
Mhm.
but I also have stone cutting, and I don't know how to make them stack.
I mean, we can just add it after the fact.
Okay.
What's stone cutting do?
It gives me it doubles my proficiency when it comes to things with stone. Let me quickly.
Don't know for sure. I will say that in previous versions of D&D, that's mostly been about
There.
stoneworking and stone things that are built and that kind of thing. I'm not sure. It might apply to golems.
I kind of thought it would.
Which can't hurt, right? Why not?
It could hurt a lot.
I mean, probably not for you.
I'm gonna get punched in the face so hard.
I'm not sure what to roll or add to the roll.
I think your proficiency bonus for that is for history is 1.
Yes.
So doubling 1 would be 2. So you'll add another 1 to it after you roll.
Proficiency bonus should be 2.
So
No,
you
I
should
have my intelligence is -1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You double the proficiency bonus, so you should add 2 to whatever your history is.
Yeah.
Right. So probably 3.
Yeah, so 1d20 plus 3, or click history and add 2 to it.
I hit it. It's not. There we
Yeah,
go.
it is.
Wow!
So
Okay.
plus
God.
2.
Phenomenal. What?
Yeah.
You rolled a 17. Right. You got it on the die, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run to the restroom. You describe how you talk the golem down using your knowledge of history and stone cutting.
Does at least
I
like grab
probably-
me by the throat first?
Maybe. I probably do a whole thing where I actually in a commanding voice, explain that I am a princess from this region.
I'm assuming you're also talking Dwarvish, so no one else understands it.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Just Fritz. Yeah, I'll wait till Mike gets back. But basically,
Dwarvish isn't the same as deep speech, right?
No. Deep speech is like below the water horrible
Yeah.
abominations.
It's Avalaks
I,
and Duragar
So
and that
being
kind of stuff.
infected with the rot has I can speak with the dark things that lurk beneath our reality.
So you played Darkest Dungeon, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, I know common, halfling, and demon.
Well, no. So demon is a very different thing.
True.
Um, what have I got?
Common, halfling, and question mark in a language you
Wait.
can't read.
Did the rot leave something in your mind? That let you speak a language you don't quite understand?
That seems good and not like a reason to kill you at all.
This is why I'm not telling you guys that I can turn arrows into a rain of like thorns and make people glow in the dark so I can kill them better.
What happened? The rot vulture figured out how to kill things.
You would be dead so fast. So fast, you squishy little bird person.
Yeah, so anyway, Mike, I'm probably talking to the golem in Dwarvish, commanding it to stand down, and, explain that I am a Stormforge.
Right. It challenges you every time you come up with a thing like, stop, I must be I'm a princess. And it's all like, state family tree. Right.
We don't have trees for dwarves, you daft pile of rocks.
No, I just stared at like trick questions.
Begin listing your relatives in descending age from, 3 generations back on your father's side.
Yeah.
Submit to Ancestry.com verification.
What was the name of your first chariot? What is your favorite pet?
What was your father's groom's name?
And like it stops punching Yorha eventually.
I'm imagining it is Homer Simpson to Yorha's Bart. Just like picked him up and like throttling.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like has me like by the throat. And I'm like struggling, trying to figure out. I'm on the verge of raging to, throw some pain back.
And it stops. You eventually you successfully convince it of your ancestry, and it puts Yorha down, and it kind of it grinds to a stop, and it's not getting the proper maintenance clearly.
Yeah.
And it says acknowledged, system resetting. Beware.
Well, that's distressing.
Does it have like glowing eyes or anything that lets me see it at all?
You just see eyes come at you.
No, it does not. It's not magical. It's completely mechanical. So
It's run on a steam generator in the back. The
Fritz is already trying to take it apart.
the boiling water has an IFF built into it.
it's a self-contained
Murder apparatus.
yeah. It actually has this this type of ore in it that boils water, and then it uses that to convert it to steam power. But if you crack the ore open, it gives everyone cancer.
So it's radium.
Yeah.
I was about to
Well,
say,
yeah,
that's
the,
what I go for.
Vasha, this thing's not working right. Like,
Yeah.
it says that it's done, and it sounds like it's done, but it's also they're not supposed to do things like that. Like, stop people, yes, but warn you is weird.
Yorha's like borderline flailing, like not like actually fighting anything, but like definitely like blind person looking for a fight in the middle of this place.
You can turn on a light for your people.
I imagine Yorha has more torches than the rest of us, but I also really like the mental image of like the rest of us just watching Yorha like shadow boxing nothing.
But, so you actually
It's
cut
like,
out.
it's like Daredevil fighting the hand ninjas that don't have a heartbeat. Like,
Yeah.
I can't hear anything. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm probably just like looking at your hat and then like can't take you anywhere.
We can put a loincloth on you, but we can't take you anywhere.
You can't even see.
The other thing is that you see another one of these just out of range, like off to the side, and there's not supposed to be two here, let alone one just inside the front door. It's not like a southern tradition either. It's not a thing that dwarves do. Right? If you get in the door, you should have something welcoming, because you've had to go through shit to get here, and you deserve to sit down and have a beer.
First of all, I'm beginning to wonder if it's related to that click that Fritz heard. Does the other one at least look like it's behaving more normally than the first one we encountered?
It hasn't moved at all.
Okay.
But is that normal?
Well, I mean, if it's supposed to be welcoming, like, is there some sort of pattern or something? Like, it's one of these specifically that's supposed to welcome someone, right?
I mean, yeah, they're not supposed to be right there in the front door, and they're supposed to be like, how may I take your order, or message. Like, they are supposed to direct you to an ale hall and go get someone that you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, they're greeter golems. This thing just tried to kill someone.
Maybe it detected that's how your HUD is used to being greeted.
Allow me to welcome you in your mother tongue. Strangle, strangle, strangle.
So, Vashla, are you the one? Are you checking out this? Is anyone else checking out this other automaton?
I'm probably near Vashla, because she's probably going through some shit, and I'm a friend.
I would call over Fritz specifically because I'm sure he has. Hello, train. Some skills
I was going to
that
call
might
out the train.
overlap in this situation, and at least be able to. I'm pretty sure Fritz is good at troubleshooting in more ways than one.
Nice. I think Kaith is basically just working on making herself small and not a target for anything,
Okay.
and observing. Are any of these statues not moving so I can perch on top of one?
Neither of them are moving, but you feel like their eyes are following you. But that's absurd. They have no eyes.
I'm gonna try to perch on top of one.
Better not poop on one.
It's this-
Not even the goblins shit on them.
right. Yeah, you can perch on it.
So that's
and
offensive.
you can feel it moving beneath you.
In a way that calls out to your bowels.
Wish to move as well.
As moves the statue, so does the colon.
Sunrise, sunset.
It looks still, but you can definitely feel it kind of like rippling under you. It's not super happy for you being there. And you're certain now the one that hasn't moved is watching you.
Sorry, I'll get down. I'm just trying to look out for my friends. Sorry. And I'm just like brush off where my feet were and then hop down.
Aren't you like horrendously sneaky? Also, oh my god, your wings are like feather dusters built in.
Too bad they don't have wings.
I am super sneaky, but I'm pretty sure no matter what my role, a thing would notice me standing on it.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying you can sneak elsewhere.
Yeah. But I want to apologize. I mean, if the thing has awareness of my presence, then I don't know.
That's fair.
Sorry, statue. So, I'm gonna get down.
It doesn't respond. You get the sense that it can't.
Okay.
But that other one that hasn't moved is still intently staring at you.
I kind of pictured that they only spoke and responded to Dwarvish.
Could be.
Ooh, wait. Okay, so did I hear Vashla talking to it in Dwarvish?
I was
Yeah.
talking to it in Dwarvish, yes.
Okay, I have no idea what the hell language that is, but I'm gonna try some deep speech and see what happens.
I thought
And
you were
then
hiding
also
these
see-
speech from us.
Yeah.
No, I'm not hiding that part. I'm just hiding the abilities that came with the rest of it. So I think she's just gonna sit there and like come up to one and maybe like put a feathered hand on, I don't know, the vague area that eyes might be that I could, or the forehead might be that I can reach, and I'm just gonna, in probably the creepiest tongue possible, say, "Hi, my name's Kate, and I'm a bird, and I'm here to be your friend."
And you're saying this in deep speech?
Yes.
Which is rot speech.
Does deep speech
Yeah.
have a word for friend? Just curious.
Victim?
Yeah. It also means food. The thing turns back on.
Good job.
Hey, I did it! I made it. It's here to be friends.
And it basically says alarm, breach of walls, destroy, destroy, destroy.
Oh, hey guys. It does not want to be friends.
I probably look over at Keith, like, exasperated. Wow. Hold on, so you're gonna fucking set this thing off and then just leave us here?
Do these
Just
things
ghost.
seem rotten?
1 second.
Okay.
Looking for Vestine.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Eight.
Did you mean to drag us to it?
Okay, cool. So as you
Did you mean
speak to it,
drag us to a new scene?
We're still in
yes.
town.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in town.
You're in town. It's a good name. It's the next Scrabhurst.
Well, I mean, there is a
God.
giant robot attacking us in the dark. It might soon be you're in town. We are now you're in town. Population us, specifically your house killed.
Okay. Yeah, it tries to, as soon as you start speaking to deep speech, the deep speech to it, it says those things and it attempts to hit you with its meaty fist. I'm
Just
assuming
kidding.
12 misses you.
This is a white void?
Sorry,
What?
it disappeared.
Are we supposed
yes,
to be a
it does miss
specific
me.
page?
No, I will assemble
Okay.
it as we.
Okay.
But the it's just attacking Keith, no one else.
Both of them activate and begin attacking people. So this will be
Other
initiative
people-
time.
Other people, please beyond. Okay.
Yes. It says, the other one says infiltration, subversion, prevent.
Smash, smash, smash. I will at this point light up a torch.
That's probably a good call. I'll be honest. These people had no intention of ever giving you another.
It would have kind of been pretty hilarious, but I feel like it might be necessary to actually like do a thing now. So
What does Burke do?
Not much.
Introduces us to Urinetown.
it's actually a defense mechanism for goblins.
It dissuades predators.
Yeah.
It's like frogs. They have to drop a bunch of water weight and then hop away.
Yeah.
It's a greeting, defense, and debate tactic for goblins.
Burke actually.
Really, the entire goblin language is based on urine. It's anthropologically very, very interesting.
Burke reaches under his hat and he pulls out a switchblade.
Okay.
Diggity. So what you're saying is when one of us dies, we come back as a goblin rogue.
Couldn't hurt.
One,
Come back as a barbarian.
I have gained a lot of respect for Burke this session so far, and I am unimpressed with Case so far.
This all seems fair.
Okay, so we're all rolling initiative.
Yep, probably a good idea.
Okay, I'm probably very disappointed that it's come to this. However, something was wrong with it to begin with, and we could always rebuild it.
Don't worry, guys. I'll be taking up the rear. Fritz is an initiative monster.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't have a token.
Fritz, more like crits.
Yeah.
Get
Wait
it.
for my first roll in combat, and we'll see what happens.
You're burning them all on bullshit.
Yep.
I added a token.
Oh, was it in the previous scene?
It was.
Am I?
So, Geek Guardian Yorha. Edits. Select a token. Did I miss anyone else's token?
Let me see.
It looks like we've got 5 in here.
Yeah, unless you want to use that one I put in Discord. Forever back.
Link me to it. We'll figure it out.
I'll pin it in a sec.
I'm hilariously small. I did not realize how small I made myself.
All right, it's pinned.
All right, so we should have initiative. Has I forgot what's a trick to this. There's a trick to it. It's like let's change it by alphabetical, and then
What's up?
there you go. So Kate's initiative is 12.17 again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's populated, isn't it?
I don't see anything.
Not Sinrathi's.
Mine didn't populate either. So.
No.
Boschlo's is 15. Garni Yorha's is 19. And Fritz Lieber is 22. Jesus, he's a AC machine. Going to add turn. And this guy is going to roll that, I think.
Sure.
Wow.
Hi there.
Wow.
It's a good thing this isn't Shadowrun and everyone got multiple turns except me.
I'm gonna get smashed real hard the instant before I get to go, aren't I?
Hey, I'm, still the protection fighting style.
Yep.
Fritz, do the thing.
So I can't
Kate.
see anyone's from our turn order except for the statues.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
The turn order list only has the golem. That's it.
Yeah?
That's all I can
Yeah.
see.
I only see the golem.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't even see myself on there.
Correct.
Right. I can move my character, but that's about it.
Can also use the shortcut Control U to quickly add groups. Neat.
Yeah, you should be able to Control A and then add a turn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
I think we can put in our own.
Yep.
All right, do it.
I do not like mine.
Only one person can edit at a time. It's locking.
Ah. I'm already raging.
Mm-hmm.
All right, looks like everybody got it in.
Yeah, it's just not in the correct order.
That's
Ooh,
fine.
Looks good to me.
Yep.
All
There
right,
we
Fritz, you're up.
So since these are mechanical constructions, there's got to be ways to shut them down. So I want to see if I can figure that out on the fly, I guess.
Okay.
I guess drawing on my historical knowledge of these things, I want to see if I can find the kill switch. I don't know.
Oh, there's your
Hardly
problem.
said
Somebody switched the golem to evil.
So
If you can find a preset kill limit, please set it low.
I mean, you know the general for automatons, it's open their access port and play with the wires until you get it to do what you want it to do. The trick with these things is going to be finding the access port. Yeah.
You ask the golem to turn its head and cough.
Yeah, I don't see myself being able to get close enough without getting smashed by these things, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, you are someone that I would totally use my reaction ability for. So I mean, like, if it attacked you, I would put it at a disadvantage.
Alternative suggestion: do you have a tow cable for your gun?
No, but I opened to suggestions. Design suggestions.
Yeah, invent a winch and a tow cable.
Or like skates and a tow cable so we could Empire Strikes Back this.
Oh my
Like,
god, roller skates. Can you imagine a gnome with a giant gun with roller skates on? That's terrifying.
It'll
you
be
like,
awesome.
skate between the ogre's legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Anna, what you doing?
So I want to take my training and knowledge for mechanical things like this and try to make a best guess at where the access port on this golem might be. So
And then shoot it.
I guess kind of, I don't know if I want to base this on a history check, so showing my knowledge, or dexterity to try to hit that part. What do you want? I guess.
I mean, if you've got good reason to have seen these things before, I mean, you have hung out with dwarves in the past, so you can go with history if you like.
I imagine perhaps in the training I had with Vashla, she might have taken me underground to one of these kind of places before, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah, like in the north, maybe.
Yeah, so I've seen similar, but maybe not the same model. I'll try that. So that's 25.
Always show that.
That seems pretty reasonable. It's in the back.
Can you fight somebody using history?
I think
Yeah, totally.
Fritz found a way.
I think
It's
that's
in the
how
back.
you wind up with the horses, actually.
Fritz, Fritz finds a way.
You roll behind him essentially, and you flip up the. There's a trick to it, of course. And
You Fonzie him.
right, so you can pick. You can either give it disadvantage on its next attack, or advantage to somebody else on its next attack on their attack against it, as you begin the precise shutdown process. So go ahead and put yourself behind one of the golems, so we know which one you are futzing around with.
Just say the ones right here. We'll just give it disadvantage since I
But I can do that.
I mean, you can do that like once per round.
Correct.
It theoretically only gets one attack. So if we can neuter it,
I mean, the point is that Fritz would rather not have these things be destroyed. So why would he want to help other people hurt it even more?
and
So
I mean,
he'd rather keep it ineffectual as opposed to making some more effective at breaking it.
and I mean, tactically, like that would reduce 100% of that one's damage as opposed to increasing 20% of our damage.
And you could also disadvantage the other golem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Math.
So this one goes. Let's just go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4,
God.
5. 1, 2, 3,
Oh God.
5.
Imagine
I
Fritz is hanging out to the back of the one. That's
yeah,
how
I-
big they are, I suppose.
You're just
They're
hanging
large.
around, holding up its neck.
It's like Shadow the Colossus all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Fritz is a small gnome, and these
Yeah.
are large dwarven golems.
Yeah. Anytime Fritz grapples a thing, it's going to be Shadow the Colossus-esque. Like,
Yep.
So Sinrathi or Yorha, I don't know how his opportunity work, but that's probably an opportunity here for that because they both.
It's when they
Each of your-
leave.
You're threatened a threatened square, or you're threatening a threatened square.
Threatening range, they have to leave it. And then I get to bonk them, I think.
So do that.
So I think they're
However-
fine.
And I think Kaith has positioned itself just out of range of them. So they're going to they effectively like grab a piece of rock out of their shoulder and hurl it.
Hopefully, this hurts me proportionally less than it hurts you. Who are they attacking?
You.
Oh, good. The 12?
12 and 16.
Which one has disadvantage?
Probably the 16.
That's good. Let's try that again.
I'm sorry. So I'm all the way over here. Like, I wasn't sure if that was just us being. Holy shit.
So yeah, that's the 16.
So one misses and one hits.
I mean, does Vashli... I mean, you would give disadvantage to the other one. Disadvantages do not stack.
I was just gonna ask because, like, when the tokens were put down, am I married to this spot?
No, I just threw him down. You can move where you want. Move where.
Okay, because I'm probably somewhere near Fritz and
Well,
Rafi.
Yeah, you said you were inspecting the other one, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to give disadvantage to the other one.
Done.
Well, the 12 missed, so...
Do you have to say it before or after the attack?
It's so I'm not sure because it doesn't specify that. And I don't think we did that before. We did it afterwards.
Yeah.
Then you can just save it then.
Yeah.
I watch as it hits whoever.
Well, no, it
Your
didn't
least
hit one.
favorite person in the room.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
holy crap.
That's a very angry golem.
Yeah, I'm down to 6 health.
Yeah. So it pulls a stone out of its chest and hurls it at you with like blinding speed, and it conks you pretty hard.
Yep.
And it's
Feels
not that
like
the
it.
stone was huge, but it was big enough and traveling at a high enough velocity.
A bone's made out of bird. So
Literally
It's
made
only
of
one
chicken.
above the expectation value.
The dice that you
How
rolled?
do you know what creature I'm looking at?
No, the 6 plus 2 is 8, is only
Yeah.
1 above the expectation value of 2d6.
7, yeah. 7 is
So
It
that's
was
not a high damage roll is my point.
Yeah.
hard.
You guys are level 2 now. It said that this was an average encounter.
We'll survive. It's fine.
Or not expect your encounters to be acid ogre esque.
All right, Yorha,
mean-
show us how it's done.
Yeah, you're. So the golems are focusing on Kaith for now, but that could change as soon as Yura does a thing.
That's totally gonna happen. I'm gonna rage. Yay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and smash one of them with my glaive.
Preferably not the one that I'm hanging on to.
It's hard
Hang
to
on
tell.
to-
It's dark.
Hanging on to the north one.
I'll smash the other one then.
Yes.
Or I totally won't.
Did you roll a 1 and a 2 there?
In fact, on my advantage roll,
Wow.
I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Look, it's really dark, you guys.
I mean, like shockingly dark, I guess. Yeah.
And that hit any. Oh Jesus!
It's a good thing you don't strike friends on ones.
I
Not
rolled a
even the
2.
torch helps.
They could.
Oh, and yeah, you rolled a 2. Which means in
I-
13th Age, if you were dual wielding, you'd get to take a second attack with your offhand.
That would be awesome.
It's the weirdest rule in that game.
I think that's me.
Do you want to move?
I don't know where to. I'm kind of right where I want to be here.
Minor?
Stumble around in the dark.
You're raging.
I mean, if I move too far, if I move too far, I'm going to be like punched by them, and that seems bad. I would rather be nearby, and
I think you're
Fine.
fine where you are.
yeah,
Okay.
I think so too.
So you take a couple mighty swings and not use fighting storm, maybe.
Or maybe
Watch.
like I can't quite like I dropped the torch on the ground and I can't quite see things very well through all the flashing.
It's all like
And-
the shadows and stuff.
Uh-huh. It's like I'm fighting in a rave essentially right now.
Darude Standstorm starts playing.
From the golems. Do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
See,
Do 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 do.
Wait.
I was imagining this
Darude
song.
Sandstone starts playing.
God damn it! I was imagining this song was like set to one of the better near themes, like War and War.
So, Fritz just wants at least one of them remaining intact.
Fritz wants to save both of them, but he will understand.
Yeah. Holy shit.
You,
Wait. What happened in my brain just now?
I figured it was an accordion version and couldn't get his content ID flagged.
I mean, challenge not ye algorithm.
Oh, I stopped, right? I was
Yes.
like, 1 second is good enough. Everyone will know what that is.
I'm I'm gonna swing my hammer at it, like in just to get it to turn off, basically. Hard reset.
The hardest reset.
Yeah.
All right, hit the reset button with your hammer.
Yes, Erin.
Don't click that link.
Oh, here, I'll share it with you.
Please don't.
Here, click this link.
Does Keith whistle that? It's like
Oh,
a
God.
scout call.
I can't whistle in those tunes.
No, just Keith.
How does this have less than 10,000 views? That's a crime.
I think I might have actually linked to the other shitty flute.
Okay. Yeah, so I do 5 damage to the golem. I'm assuming an 18 hits it.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I was honestly expecting like Caramel Dancing or something,
Yeah.
not shitty flute Darude Sandstorm.
I actually thought it was going to be Carl Dawson too.
I love the shitty flute series.
Oh yeah, especially the "My Heart Will Go On" or whatever, the shitty
I
recorder
know.
version. Oh, it's so good because I hate that song. Did you do damages, Jordan?
Yes.
Is
Five
it dead?
five of them. No.
Oh,
It still does more than your have.
So Kate, what have we what have we learned about deep speech?
is someone okay? Oh god. Holy shit! It's almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today we learned don't talk to guards in deep, horrible tongues.
Also-
you did 5 damage. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is an elegant way to speak, and
Boy.
it's not
No.
civilized enough. To,
True.
Not
appreciate.
true at all.
You open up your mind and just like death metal comes out. Just like every time you like open and close your mouth, it's just like different, like 3-second clips of death metal.
I think definitely would be preferable.
All right, Keith, show us what you got with your
The
new.
words coming out of my
Dexpo.
mouth sound like tar. I don't know how that works, but it's just like you're just like. Okay, so I'm gonna get the one that Vashla attacked. I'm gonna put my hunter's mark on it.
So now it's sparkly.
so that your head can finally see it.
So if I do hit it, it does an extra 3. And I'm going to use my bow, which now that I've got my archery fighting style, gets an extra bonus on attack rolls. Fuck, really? I rolled a 4?
I rolled a 1 and a 2. It's going around.
Cool.
Do you get an extra bonus on that somehow?
That is
Um,
the extra bonus. Oh, does Hunter's Mark give you
Plus
advantage?
3? No, it's plus 3 from Dex.
And have
plus,
it. Oh, okay.
plus 2 for my fighting style, and what's the other plus 2? Hold on.
Proficiency.
Yeah, proficiency. So yeah,
Okay.
fucking missed on a plus 7 roll. I'm gonna move back a little. Oh
I mean,
wait,
do you have like advantage because they're flanked or anything?
Flanking doesn't do advantage in 5e.
Ugh.
yeah,
Yep.
they're not my favorite enemy or anything like that. Okay, am I in a situation? Okay, you see this little nook here? Can I go in there and try to hide?
You are a small creature.
Sure.
Someone's gonna round the corner and suddenly, like, there's only a bird quantity of space to occupy, though?
Can you? I thought you could hide under larger creatures.
I can. I'm not gonna go under the golem that's trying to kill me. That kind of
Also-
defeats my ranged
Golem.
attack purpose.
Also, like,
But you'd be
behind
hiding
them.
under it.
And the other one is right there.
I'd have to walk through them to get to you guys, from what I can tell of the map, which is a bad situation for me.
Samantha.
I am going to cast Guiding Bolt on the one that I'm terrifyingly close to. Let's hope I don't fuck this roll. I fucked this roll.
You fucked it. We're gonna die here.
Do you just have the one on the
Oh,
left?
probably.
Yeah, it's just the one on the left. I have it always to roll advantage, and then I can just... But yeah, no, I rolled the 1.
Wow.
Yep.
Does anything fun happen on fighting
Nope.
at once? You to mark experience or anything?
Nope.
God damn.
We don't get to mark experience if we don't survive the fight.
Back to the game. Okay, yes.
Yeah, welcome to the
Wow.
plateau of chaos that is a D20.
It's a messed up number generation system. It really is.
Flat numbers are strange. So Samantha, your guiding bolt.
I mean, I think it fizzles.
If it does not. You're far from your god, and you can't reach your magic. I guess.
I think it's like... I mean, like you said, they're just, like, for some reason there isn't enough belief behind it to turn... Yeah. To make it happen.
Fritz.
Like how your damage also had 3 1s.
Yeah. Yeah. On 46, I rolled 6.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Impressive.
That's almost like Bell's shoot bad thing with Sun Cannon roll.
Uh-huh.
That wonderful roll where I got like 9 1s in a row.
You got
Yeah, and the bat.
you got
the bad
4
thing turned out to be
3s and
Jack.
a 1.
That thing you shot turned out to be Jack.
No, this was a different thing.
Oh.
Anyways.
So yeah, I'm gonna continue with my hurried shutdown of this golem.
Okay. Roll me a
Try
tinker.
fighting.
Roll me sleight of hand.
If I can have tools for these kind of things.
You do. You've got these tools.
Wait, do you want me to run tools, or you want me to run sleight of hand?
Yeah, they're different roles.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Tools, I guess.
Okay.
I'm imagining that you've got this thing in like a scissor lock around one of its appendages and are like using the tools with your other hands.
Triangle choke and like getting in its neck.
I'm imagining that scene in Starship Troopers where Rico's on the back of the tanker bug. Yeah,
Dong.
Wow.
4 is a lot.
That was weird.
So Fritz has a D16 plus, and the rest of us are D5 minus.
Okay, so you've you've stopped one of its major functions from working. Which one?
I mean, like, motor control seems like a bit major, but I mean, like, its arms? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, you can stop it from moving, or stop it from attacking, or stop it from doing like these things for a round.
Oh, for a round. Yeah, we'll say it just can't attack this round. We'll keep on with the disadvantage theme where it can't attack now.
Done. You think you're making pretty good progress on turning it off permanently too?
Not permanently, but just
One of these icons used to be a dude flexing his bicep, and I think that's gone.
I'll look.
there's one.
The
It's still there.
golems.
Yeah, it's you have to scroll down.
Row. Yeah.
Which column? Which row?
Second
Fourth
column.
row, second column, yeah.
Which row?
Fourth if you're going from all the icons. Third if you don't count the colors.
In which column?
Second column.
Which row?
And which row?
This is why we don't get through more than one combat, Michael.
So the bird has disappeared, and Yorha has attacked the thing. So the golem turns and tries to punch Yorha. It seems like hesitant to do so, and that's evident in its miss. It's looking for
It
an
has
attacker.
advantage.
Why?
Advantage.
Why?
Because I give everything advantage now, all the time.
You use reckless swing.
It's a barbarian thing. That's a
I
hit.
Something stop
With-
that? Do you get
I-
disadvantage, Flashlight?
Yeah.
I give disadvantage.
Okay, so only do 5 counts.
Yeah. No, the first one misses.
Yeah, it's not all that into punching you. It senses something is wrong and it can't figure out why this is happening. It's not supposed to be punching you. You're supposed to be punching the bird thing that spoke to it, the tongue of the dead. Yorha.
I punch the golem with my stick blade.
Punch it with my spear.
Drive closer. I want to hit it with my sword.
Better.
For 4 damage.
6 damage, actually, because I'm raging.
6. Okay.
Damage.
Yeah, you get a chunk of it off this time. You know, your spear into it nice and strong, and it kind of like rocks back a bit, and you're definitely getting the sensation, learning how to fight these things better. Vashla.
Am I assuming that it's normal advantage, not I mean it's normal, not advantage or disadvantage. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, like after protecting Yorha and watching him, slice at it with his glaive, I'm gonna go and try finishing it off.
Smash them up.
I'm gonna put away my shield to for versatility.
$14 do.
Nice.
All right, so describe how you smash this thing. You hit it for 8.
You know what? I actually kind of want to. So after like Yorha is raging and smashing on it, I actually kind of want to run up behind Yorha and like run up his back and jump on
Like
it.
flying hammer to bring down.
Yes.
That's the thing we've practiced, or are we doing this spontaneously?
Spontaneous.
Aren't you like 7'90", Yorha?
I'm not a small person. I'm not a small
But
person.
Vashla, dwarves were not to be denied.
You move 25 feet vertically up Yorha.
Yeah.
And you leap
yeah,
off of it, you
hypotenuse,
bring your
right?
hammer down into the golem, and you permanently disfigure it. Its head isn't meant to turn, and it's now like 45 degrees the wrong way and like 15 degrees canted inwards. So it's like, right? And that's not super great for it, but it's fine for you because you're trying to smash it to pieces.
Well, mostly just trying to stop it.
Keith.
Hello.
You are
Okay,
hiding.
so they're both still alive, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to peek out from cover. I was gonna say find the one that I've marked, but you know, I'm just gonna close 3 of my eyes and let loose the arrow.
Which 3?
Yes.
This one, and then that one.
Yeah, you get the...
on the same
wait.
side.
Oh wait. Okay. So. Okay. Hold on. I need to check something. This is important.
You accidentally close one of the eyes you meant to aim with.
Okay. So before I do that, I'm going to take a deep breath, focus on my training that I've been doing, and I'm going to cast Hail of Thorns on my arrow.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot at the one that I've been shooting at. So first things first. So that one, and I guess everything within 5 meters of it needs a dex save.
Anything includes us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Fuck.
We are thing.
I am looking for an excuse.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna not do that because I want to kill my team. Shit.
I think I already have a good enough reason, but
Okay, so you know what? Instead, I'm just gonna close all my eyes and go, not yet, and then fire. Oh, and is this advantage since I'm from stealth?
Sure.
That's how that works, yeah.
14 and 5 piercing damage.
Doesn't Hunter's thing give damage?
Oh, yeah, and I get to do another d6. Two more damage. And then you're gonna hear a whisper, "Guys, move back."
No! There's like 4 of us who are melee fighters here.
So after Vashla smacked this thing with a hammer, kind of like you can see into its back area now. It's not actually solid stone. It's kind of like a clay strips over top of like an automaton. And they're real hard clay, but it's just baked. And now that it's been shattered, you're able to shoot arrows into its guts. Mechanical guts.
It's not dead yet, huh?
is
It
it
is toppling over. Sunrathi, so Vashla was you're saying?
Oh, I was gonna say it's like the Clayman from our Dungeon World game, where it's like clay and then a bunch of wires and stuff underneath.
Yes.
I'm going to just like rest a hand on the golem and just like it's okay, Protector. Your time is done, and I will cast Toll the Dead. So good, great, wonderful. So it's the top. So it has to make a DC 13 Wisdom save, or else it takes 3 damage. Tremble.
Wisdom save.
I can't believe I rolled 1, 1, 2, 3 on. God.
4 die.
Yeah. on 2d12 and 2d8. Neat. So it takes a whopping 3 necrotic damage. Tremble at my unlimited power.
With my extremely limited power.
Your extremely limited power is enough.
Yes! So yeah, I lay it to rest. And now that I'm not adjacent to anything, I'm getting the dodge out of fuck.
So, the thing kind of like stops for a moment, and it grinds to a halt as smoke pours out of the wounds that it sustained, and you can kind of like hear that woof sound of fire being caught, and it just sits there kind of glowing merrily as it burns from the inside.
So the magic blue smoke has escaped the machine.
Yeah.
Neat.
Fritz, Mr. Lever.
What do I have to do to peaceably shut this thing down?
I like one more check. I feel it's done.
God, okay, this is where it all goes bad.
Sure,
Just-
but you spent 3 checks to turn this thing off, and that was 16's definitely good enough, right?
I hope so.
I think 16 is good enough to turn the thing off. And I'm going to put another status on it because I like status. Stupid at that. Let's get status. It's off.
Oh, it's a Cylon now.
Yeah. So Fritz, you've got the access plate up. You know, you're tearing wires out. You've got your sonic screwdriver and pulling things apart. And you finally move enough of the wires that you can reach up inside the head and flick the off switch.
Excellent.
And the thing just turns off. It doesn't come crashing to the ground or anything. It just its weight settles first forward and then back, and then like it finds the equilibrium between the two. And its hands come to rest on its knees, and it's done.
How?
So, we are going to call it there because it is late-ish and play every week, so we can afford to call it at midnight on Thursdays. So the Fritz, as you're in there, you can see like access tapes, not tapes, but like onboard memory, like cylinders containing wax recordings, and as the other one that you guys crushed and cut and arrowed to death, its last words are "Intruder, intruder, beware."
Is it telling us to beware? What is... Explain your indeterminate grammar machine.
I think Kate's gonna come up and jam her spear into it, and like all her feathers are ruffled out, so she's a big agitated, fluffy bird.
No, fuck you.
I'm gonna like put a hand on the shoulder and just like be at peace. Now is not the time for spears. It is, but yeah.
He threw a rock.
Probably glowering.
And then
Throw a rock.
I cram 11 hit points back into your bits.
Hey, that's exactly how many I lost.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny?
Hmm.
That's also the max of that die.
Yeah.
It's your best roll all night.
It
This is
is.
what you were made to do.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yes, okay.
Literally.
Yeah, that's an ominous enough phrasing to end this session on. So thank you all. This has been Knights of the Ashen Empire edition stream. If you like us, please find us on social media. Send us a tweet. We love tweets. Hit us up on Twitch. We love being twitchy. We're also on Facebooks. You can book some faces with us. We have a Patreon if you really like what we're doing. And occasionally we send out do we have like the whole thing that we still do, like the wall of heroes and stuff?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, if you would like a custom bespoke message from the 6/unknown quantity of us,
Okay, we're not going to promise which. Yeah, I was about to say we're
Yeah.
not going to promise which people. It'll be whatever night we actually record it. Will be whatever, like whoever is playing that night will be our people. So you get a
People
fun
say
grab
things.
bag of people shouting into the ether at you.
right.
We are presently lost in the weeds. Let's get this back on track.
Right. We dearly appreciate your feedback. We dearly appreciate your views. We really appreciate your likes, shares, and subscribes. Please check out our podcast too. We've got one of those. It's good. I like it. I'm fairly happy with all of the setup. These people are great. Our viewers are super important. So please let us know how you think we're doing. And peace. This isn't peace.
Ear viewers are good too.
Night, everybody.
Good night.